What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cosmic Wonder. We have some huge Marvel news to go over today, including a new location for Avengers Doomsday that was revealed by somebody sneaking onto the set of Avengers Doomsday who recorded his entire process of doing so. It also looks like we might know what Marvel Studios has in store for us this year at San Diego Comic-Con, which is just about 2 months away. This year it's July 24th to July 27th. An insider claims that Marvel Studios is going to announce the rest of Phase 6, and they know what they're going to announce. This information is coming from the insider James Mackwell, who claims that they were an upcoming insider before their old account got deleted for leaking things. And this is the same insider who leaked the details of the script for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness before it came out, and then it was proven true when the movie eventually came out. So there is validity and credit here, but like all leaks, take it with a grain of salt. But today they started posting about San Diego Comic-Con and Phase 6. They made a few posts, and here's the first one. I'm told that Marvel will announce the rest of Phase 6 at their SDCC panel, and that November 6th, 2026 date, that's already on the calendar for a third Doctor Strange film, which will be called Doctor Strange in the Incursions of Insanity. And I gotta say, that's actually a pretty dang good name for a third Doctor Strange film, especially if you consider that this release date is coming after Avengers Doomsday. Avengers Doomsday comes May 1st of 2026, and this would come November 6th of 2026. So it would make sense that at the end of Avengers Doomsday, either the entire multiverse gets destroyed or the beginning of the destruction of the multiverse starts to happen, which would eventually lead, we assume, to Battleworld. So Doctor Strange in the Incursions of Insanity would make a pretty perfect title if the incursions are starting to happen and all of these universes are starting to be destroyed. Benedict Cumberbatch also said that he is going to be in Avengers Doomsday, and if that is true, this would obviously pick up right after the events of Doomsday. But if he's not in the movie, this movie could take place at the exact same time as Doomsday, and it could show Strange trying to save the multiverse while Doctor Doom kind of destroys it. But we know Marvel Studios set up a Doctor Strange 3, so this makes sense. He then went on to state, I've been told that Marvel will be announcing the rest of Phase 6 at their SDCC panel, and that they'll be announcing the 5th Thor movie. The working title I've heard for the movie is something like Thor Hammerfall. So again, we have actually heard news about Thor 5 recently. Thor is obviously returning in Avengers Doomsday. He was the first person who got a chair, Chris Hemsworth. But what we've heard recently from multiple different insiders is that Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars won't actually be the final send-off of Thor, but he will get another Thor movie. And Chris Hemsworth has openly talked about wanting to come back as Thor, but it would have to be very different than what he did with Thor Love and Thunder, basically stating that it would have to be more serious. And we already know that Taika Waititi is not going to be directing this film, and that Chris Hemsworth is actually pushing for Sam Hargrave, who he's worked with on Extraction, to take over and be the new director. And a couple of weeks ago, the insider My Time to Shine Hello stated, a source reached out, turns out Secret Wars won't be the end of his story. Thor 5 is in the works, no Taika this time, and Hemsworth's pushing for Sam Hargrave, the Extraction guy, to take over. So all of these reports are lining up, but James Mackwell does have one more report for SDCC Phase 6, stating, I'm told that Marvel will announce the rest of Phase 6 at their SDCC panel, and that they're all set to announce World War Hulk. Now, we've been hearing so much about a World War Hulk project over the past couple of years. Well, really longer. Right after Avengers Endgame, a lot of people started talking about World War Hulk. But over the past couple of years, insiders have been stating that Marvel Studios does indeed have a plan to do a World War Hulk movie. And I think a lot of fans would really love to see this, and I think this would be a way to get our Savage Hulk back, which insiders have also reported is going to happen. He's no longer going to be Professor Hulk or Bro Hulk, but we'll finally see the return of that Savage Hulk that we've known and loved. So apparently these are the 3 big Phase 6 movies that haven't been revealed yet that Marvel Studios is going to reveal at San Diego Comic-Con. World War Hulk, Thor 5, and Doctor Strange in the Incursions of Insanity. And it sounds like we'll probably get some Disney Plus shows in there as well, like the Champion series. But we'll have to wait and see on that. In the meantime, let me know what you think about these 3 movies. Now, like I mentioned, somebody snuck onto the set of Avengers Doomsday and filmed the entire thing. Some of you might have seen this video going around online. We're not going to post it on here because it's been taken off of a lot of platforms so far. The video continues to keep being posted, but it looks like Marvel is looking for the videos and taking them down when they find them. So we're not going to post it, but we'll show you some stills of what the footage had to show us. It does reveal a very popular location from the comics and a location that we have visited in the MCU before. As this person sneaks onto the set, they show pretty much everything and kind of narrate what their thought process was. For example, when they go up to the gate of Pinewood Studios, they find a tree that is very close to the fence and they state, "Found my entrance." So they get on, take some footage, and they were sneaking around, but then this person shows himself getting coffee at a station that is meant for the cast and crew, and they put the caption, "Had to act like they belonged there. There's way too many people around to be sneaking around." So they've basically filmed themselves walking around. They didn't see anything major like any actors or anything like that, at least not caught on camera. However, one pretty big thing was revealed from this video, and that was Madripoor. There was a part of the set that seemed to contain a lot of different Asian restaurants and shops, which of course makes sense because Madripoor is located on an island in Southeast Asia. And on some of the banners for the restaurants, it says Madripoor. And the return of this location in the MCU brings us some pretty big questions, because the last time that we saw Madripoor, and kind of the only time we saw Madripoor in the MCU, was in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We also did see a flag for Madripoor in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and we did see Madripoor in Deadpool and Wolverine, where Deadpool was doing the Wolverine montage, searching for the perfect Wolverine to be the anchor being, where we saw Patch. That was Madripoor, but we know that wasn't in the main 616 timeline. So returning to Madripoor in Avengers Doomsday means one of two things, and the first one is pretty simple. It's the same Madripoor that we saw in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, why they're going there? Who knows? Could Sharon Carter be involved in some way, shape, or form? Because we did find out that she is indeed the power broker. Sam Wilson and Bucky both know Sharon Carter, and now they're both in charge of new Avengers teams. When things start to go down in Avengers Doomsday, could they possibly seek out Sharon Carter? We know that something is going on with space from the post-credit scene for the Thunderbolts, and perhaps they ask Sharon Carter to get them something they need. Madripoor is definitely a resourceful place with a lot of wealthy people being there, and Madripoor is basically outside of the law. At least it mostly is in the comics. Like, it's a very lawless place. So there are some reasons for it to show up in Avengers Doomsday. Maybe some people seek Sharon. Maybe Shang-Chi is there right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if this Madripoor scene that they're filming in Avengers Doomsday right now is actually for another universe. This could actually be in the X-Men universe. Madripoor is associated with mutants in general, but it's also very associated with Logan, Wolverine. And although right now we're unsure if the universe that we saw in the post-credit scene of The Marvels, which showed Hank McCoy, aka Beast, Binary, and mentioned Professor Xavier, we don't know if this X-Men universe is the same as the X-Men universe that Deadpool and Wolverine are in, the 10,005 universe. Either way, it sounds like we're going to get at least two different variants of Wolverine in Avengers Doomsday. Or for Secret Wars, if for some reason they are not in Avengers Doomsday, but Channing Tatum's Gambit is going to be in the film, so I'm pretty sure they're going to return as well. But here's why I think there are going to be two. If this is a different X-Men universe, then they could be going to Madripoor to seek out Wolverine. There is a chance that it could be the same universe and they still could go to Madripoor to seek out Wolverine, because that just might be where the Wolverine that we met in Deadpool and Wolverine is hanging out. But that would still leave the other Wolverine that is still alive in the 10,005 universe coexisting in that same universe with this Wolverine. So regardless of if the universes are different or not, I believe we'll get at least two variants of Wolverine in the Avengers films, maybe even three or more. But perhaps in this other X-Men universe, Madripoor is a big place for mutants, much like it is in the comics. And maybe some X-Men will go to recruit some other mutants for the cause, whatever that may be, whether that's going from one universe to another, trying to fight Doom, trying to fight Magneto. We'll have to wait and see if this is it, or if we're going to see Sharon Carter again. It's pretty much impossible to know right now, but maybe some insiders will take more photos or get more information pretty soon. If they do, we'll be sure to do an update for you. So be sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel news, rumors, or leaks. Be sure to let us know what you think about all of this information in the comments down below. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.